Today, I'm going to be showing you the best loadout for Chapter 4 Season 2 if you want to place well in tournaments and gain lots of arena points. I'm going to be covering solos and duos, so with that being said, let's get into the video. First off, I'm going to go over the best loadout this season if you're playing solos. When it comes to shotguns, you have three options this season: the Maven Auto Shotgun, the Havoc Pump Shotgun, and the Combat Shotgun. This is quite an easy choice in my opinion, as the Havoc Pump Shotgun is so much better than the other two in nearly every way possible. The Maven Auto Shotgun does less damage, and then the Combat does even less again. The Havoc also has a mythic variant that you can get from vaults, and it can 200 pump players. So, unless you can't find one, you should always be carrying a Havoc Pump Shotgun. Next, for your spray weapon, you should generally be carrying a tactical pistol. Here's why. The Twin Mag SMG is good this season, but the pistol still has the edge. Another option is the Havoc Suppressed Rifle, but this is very inaccurate and feels very clunky. The only time you shouldn't be carrying a tactical pistol is if you manage to get an overclocked pulse rifle. Only one of them spawns in every solo game, but if you manage to get your hands on it, it is the most powerful weapon this season by far. Next, in your third slot, you're going to need to carry a kinetic blade. This is the only reliable way to rotate this season, and it's even better if you pair it with the Aerialist Reality Augment. As you can see, it's also really useful for exploiting into your opponent's box and catching them off guard. Your final two slots should contain healing items. This season, I would say the best heals are the Mythic Slurp Juice and Chug Splash. And there you have it, the best loadout this season for solos. Moving on, I'm now going to go over the best loadout for duos. In duos, there are two roles: the Fragger and the IGL, or in-game leader. I'll explain what each role involves in just a second, but you need to keep in mind that they are both very different and therefore require completely different loadouts. The IGL is the player who is responsible for making all the big decisions in game, like when to push, where to land, and when to rotate. The IGL should be the smarter player and should be able to clearly tell their duo what to do. The IGL is also responsible for tarping in endgame. On the other hand, the Fragger in your duo is the player who is mainly responsible for fighting and damaging opponents. They should of course be a better fighter than the IGL and be very confident even in 1v2 situations. They should also be able to listen to the IGL and do what they're told. I'll start with the IGL's loadout in your duo. This is pretty much just the same as the loadout for solos. Firstly, they should of course have a Havoc Pump Shotgun. They should also have a tactical pistol, or if possible, an overclocked pulse rifle. They should also have a kinetic blade to rotate with and 2 slots for heals. On the other hand, the Fragger's loadout in your duo should look a little different. Just as the other two loadouts do, they should have a Havoc Pump Shotgun and a tactical pistol. But they should also have a third spray weapon that's more suited for long range, so that they can damage players before a fight starts, or in order to get Storm Surge if you're playing a tournament. The best option is of course an overclocked pulse rifle, but if you can't get your hands on it, the next best option is a Cobra DMR. It's a pretty underrated weapon and can be great for getting some easy long range damage if you know how it works. They should then be carrying a kinetic blade and have only 1 slot for heals. There are a few other things to remember when it comes to loadouts for duos. The first thing to remember is that the Fragger should always have the best shotgun, even if the IGL finds it. But the IGL should always be given the best possible heals, even if the Fragger finds it. Also, you and your duo need to make sure to clearly communicate with each other what weapons and items you have, so that you both end up with the best possible loadout. Make sure to send this video to your duo so that they know what their loadout should look like and to make sure they are aware of these tips. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing and please give some feedback in the comments, as this is one of my first long form videos and I plan to make a lot more in the future. Thank you for watching.